What's up, everybody? Dog 185. There's levels to this. Quick video for you guys tonight. I want to speak some truth on something that I think a lot of pro Xbox, anti Sony talking points are getting wrong. And I can admit I probably said something to this same effect. But the more that I think about it, it doesn't really make sense. Okay, so let me tell you this. There's no doubt in my mind, and no one could convince me, that Sony would love to see their top 10 played games be all of their played games. And what I mean is not that they would only want their current games to be the top 10. What I mean is they would want their current games to make the same numbers that the top 10 most played games get. You know what I'm saying? So instead of Call of Duty being the number one played game on PlayStation, they would love if the number of players that were playing Call of Duty was actually playing Helldivers 2. You know what I mean? I think the second game was like Madden or something, or Football Club or whatever. They would love if every single number of players that was playing those third-party games was playing the first-party game. No one could convince me otherwise. I don't care. You make no sense if you think that's different. I think every company would want to be, like I said, in the position that Nintendo is in. Right now, to be fair, obviously Nintendo doesn't have a game like Call of Duty, but when you look at the top 10 played games on all platforms, Nintendo does have games up there. So does Sony, so does Microsoft. But I'm sure each one of those companies would love if their games on their platform were the top played games with the numbers that the top played games on all three platforms have. Right? I'm hoping that makes sense. Okay, but I have said before that Xbox or PlayStation gamers celebrating all these Xbox games coming over there and excited to play all these Xbox games over there on PlayStation might have PlayStation feeling a certain type of way, right? It's almost like Xbox is essentially doing what they said they were going to do. Satya Nadella is essentially doing what he said he was going to do, which is redefine what the Xbox gamer is. Essentially, the Xbox gamer is going to be anybody that plays an Xbox game or is playing on the Xbox ecosystem. Which, if they keep dropping games that are undeniable, bro, you're going to be an Xbox gamer by default. Somebody asked me, so if you're playing a Sony game on PC, are you a PlayStation gamer? Well, let me ask you this. If my most played game on PC, it's not even close, but if my most played game on PC was Helldivers 2 on Steam, and every time I play, I'm logged into the PlayStation Network, PlayStation is counting that as active user. You do know that, right? So essentially, to PlayStation, I'm a PlayStation gamer at that point. I hope you really understand that. If I'm just buying the game off of Steam and I'm not logging in, which now they made logging into certain games not mandatory, then I might not be a PlayStation user. I'm just someone that purchased a PlayStation game. That's completely different, right? But if Xbox does something where when you're playing these live service games that are going over there, you're actually logging into to Xbox, bro, it's a wrap. It's different. It's different. Call of Duty itself, you're logging in with your PSN account, right? Xbox is counting those numbers as people that are playing Xbox games. So I just want to put that into perspective. But this is what I want to say, right? Essentially, Satya Nadella is doing what he wanted to do, which is redefine what the Xbox gamer is. Phil Spencer said he wants more people to play their games. Hey, it's going to happen. More people are going to play their games. The problem that I'm having with the talking point that I see right now is this weird talking point that, like, this is really, really going to hurt Sony. And the reason why I had to take a step back from that is because if Xbox games on the PlayStation were really going to hurt PlayStation to the point where it's going to be detrimental to PlayStation, why would PlayStation allow this to happen? It doesn't make sense. It's their platform. No. Listen to me. There's going to be either at least a mutual benefit for both of these companies to do this, okay? Or Sony is going to make sure that it doesn't hurt their business. And maybe because they see that Xbox is making all these moves, putting their games over there, and they're talking behind the scenes, maybe that is the reason why Sony's like, hey, we could cancel our 12 live service games because these fools are about to put their live service games on our platform. And maybe they could focus on doing whatever it is that they want to do now and more single-handed projects, stuff like that. It does make logical sense if that's the case. So I don't know if they're giving up on live service games completely, but if they did, I get it because they're literally gonna get every single other live service game on their platform anyways. Does that make sense? But if there was a detriment to putting Xbox games on the PlayStation, why would Sony allow it? I don't see it. The person that's going to be hurting the most, in my opinion, is going to be the PlayStation fan. Listen to me before you get mad. The PlayStation fan that exclusively bought a PlayStation for their exclusives. Because Sony doesn't really have an incentive to pump out games on a regular basis. Why would they? They're getting everybody else's game. What would be the incentive to them to pump out games on a regular basis? To get you to buy a PlayStation? You're already going to buy a PlayStation for all the other games that are coming over there. You've been buying PlayStations for all the other games that are going over there. Very few of you are buying PlayStations just because of their exclusives. Most people that buy PlayStations, which are casuals, you can look at the numbers, are buying them because of the top three, top five games that are typically multi-plat. I'm not lying, right? But again, I don't think that Xbox putting their games on PlayStation, I don't think that PlayStation is actually tripping. So I think we need to slow down, because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, Xbox is taking over PlayStation and PlayStation is going to die when this happens, this and that, blah, blah. Why would Sony allow that? Sony's probably chilling. Yeah, they're only making, 30% off of these games or 20% off of these games or whatever. But again, if it wasn't beneficial for them, they wouldn't do it. That's why I always think it's better to look at things from the gamer's perspective, the stuff that we should actually care about. From a gamer's perspective, all we got to worry about is what can you play on your platform, and can you play what you want to play on your platform? If you're not, keen to PlayStation games and all that other stuff, and you do like the majority of the Xbox games, then it might be more beneficial to get an Xbox and just subscribe to Game Pass. It's going to be more efficient economically, at least. Right? It might. If you're playing the top 3 free-to-play games, though, and every once in a while you want an exclusive and you're willing to pay for it, or you want a game and you're willing to pay for it, then the PlayStation route seems the way to go, because you're probably going to have access to the majority of the games. Right? Today, though, this is the reality that both sides need to understand. Today, you cannot. I'm being honest with you. Today, you cannot buy one console and get every single game. It doesn't exist. Halo is still not over there as of right now. Okay. Starfield is still not over there as of right now. The Fable series is still not over there as of right now. Right. And vice versa. Obviously, PlayStation games aren't on the Xbox. The closest system to get the majority of games, is that's really what you're looking for. You want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, is the PC. And these are just facts. Because even with Game Pass PC, you can even play the Xbox 360 games if you got a good enough internet connection, right? But in reality, this whole nonsense that Xbox is taking over Sony and the Trojan horse angle, I don't know, man. I think Sony sees the Trojan horse and is letting the Trojan horse come in because they know that they're going to be okay. It's the PlayStation fan that's been capping for exclusives in the Sony single player game that might be hurting, because now that Sony really doesn't have to provide games, why you might get much bigger time within releases. That just makes logical sense to me. But who knows? Maybe when they do release something, they can really focus on it and it might be a banger. Who knows? Only time will tell. This next generation is going to be definitely very interesting, especially if Valve does jump into it, or if Valve and Xbox join up together, because at that point then we really got some hard thinking to do. Dog 1985, there's levels to this. Let me know what you guys think, man. Listen, Xbox is winning by putting their games on PlayStation. PlayStation is winning as well. Don't get it twisted. They wouldn't do it if they weren't winning as well. Now, why would they? We out. Peace.